Are prep centers worth it? This is a question that a lot of you guys are actually wondering about, and I am going to answer it today. You guys are no strangers to the fact that I actually started working with the prep centers, I believe 10 days to 2 weeks ago, and I'm gonna tell you my experience so far and what I think about working with prep centers, and I'm gonna tell you if it's worth it. So before we start, this video is sponsored by our own Discord server, because yes, now we do not have any sponsor, but if you want to learn about Amazon and stuff, if you want to hang out with other sellers, if you want to ask any questions you may have, join the Discord server. Best place to do it. I'm always hanging out over there. We are doing live calls like pretty often. We are going to do it more often. So yeah, if you want to join, if you want to hang out with us, if you want to talk to me and the other sellers, join the Discords in the description. Best place to actually network and learn with other sellers. All right, so what's my opinion on prep centers? Are they worth it? I should start by saying this. If you do online arbitrage is the best business model if you want to have geographic freedom, right? If you do not want to be dependent on being somewhere, either being in the US, like just if you just want to be outside of the country, or if you want to be able to travel and stuff. And this is the one that is the most optimized for that, because with wholesale, if you actually go through a prep center, you are not going to have the same competitive advantage, because actually working with a prep center when you are doing OA at a certain scale is going to give you a competitive advantage, because you can get your prep center, as I did, in a tax-free state, and not pay tax on your purchase, on your item. So for example, if you have a product that sells for $20-something, you would not pay. I think the cutoff point for me, like, because most of the time you're gonna pay $1.50 per unit for a prep center to actually prep your item for you. So by prepping your item, it's putting it in poly bags, slapping a sticker on your product, on the barcode and stuff, and making sure that everything is set up right? And when you think, like, if I say it's costing you $1.50, it may seem expensive. Like it is expensive. It may seem expensive, right? But the thing is that if you actually get your prep center in a tax-free state, and for example, myself, I live in Florida, right? And in Florida, we pay 7% tax on pretty much everything except groceries and OTC medication, right? Everything else we pay 7% tax on it, right? So, for example, if I buy a toy at $20, it's gonna cost me in tax, I'm gonna pay $1.40 on top of that, right? And actually, on my prep center, with the volume that I do, I'm gonna pay like between $1.30 to $1.40, or like $1.40, $1.30 per unit. So if I buy something at $20, right, I would effectively pay, if I were to ship it to my house, I would effectively pay $21.40, right? So instead of paying that $1.40 extra on my product, if I ship it to my house, why not ship it to a prep center in a tax-free state, have them do all the work, prepping the product and shipping it to Amazon, and just pay and not pay anything, right? So in that regards, it is more than worth it, because you're paying pretty much the same thing, and you're not doing any work. They are doing all the work, right? So it's a huge time saver. Now, as I said, when it comes to Amazon, except maybe private labeling, right? But like private labeling, if you really want to have a full-time income and stuff, you will need more capital than you would need with online arbitrage, because you can flip your money so much faster, right? So when it comes to online arbitrage, I think that, and it's just my opinion, and this is a realization that I came through like not that long ago, it defeats the purpose to do online arbitrage and not actually have a prep center, because you will actually, like, it's actually for products that are above a certain price, it's actually a competitive advantage, because you're going to pay less. You're going to actually pay less because you're going to save on tax, right? Except if you live in Montana or whatever, you already live in a tax-free state. But if you don't, if you live like in Florida or whatever other states, like for example, some of the states have 9% sales tax, you're actually going to save money a lot of the time, right? So online arbitrage is one of those online, like I think it's the only business model where it actually makes sense. It's actually a competitive advantage to actually have a prep center. And you know, the thing is that when you do online arbitrage, you can stay at your house. Like, you do not have to be anywhere. It's totally different than retail arbitrage, right? Retail arbitrage, you need to be in the US to sell in the US market. Wholesale, you would need your own warehouse, because if you actually like wholesale, you would not pay tax, right? So if you actually because if you buy wholesale, you do not pay tax at all, like if you have a resale certificate. So it would not make sense to work with a prep center. It's better to actually have your if you want to do it at scale, it's better to have your own warehouse, have your own worker doing all that work, right? But with online arbitrage, you do it at such a scale, like at a certain scale, like if you do like 1 million a year, 2 million a year, 3 million a year in revenue, it's actually better for you to have a prep center. And it's like, it would defeat the purpose, like, because the thing is, like, to be honest, like if you're at a smaller scale, right? If you do like 500,000 a year, you can do 500,000 to 1 million a year doing retail arbitrage, and you would have a better return on investment. Like, it would be way easier for you to get a better return on investment if you really know stores and stuff in your area, and you do like you go a little bit further, you drive a little bit more, but it's going to be easier for you to actually have a higher average return on investment. So your money would go further if you actually do retail arbitrage, right? So you can put the work in, actually make more money than if you were to do online arbitrage. So in my opinion, if you are going to do all that extra work of prepping and stuff, like, just do retail arbitrage. You're gonna make much more money if you are in the US. If you are in the US, not if you're outside of the country, because it would not make sense, right? But yeah, I'm drinking kombucha because it's night. I'm not gonna drink coffee right now. I know you guys are used to me drinking coffee, but I digress. So if you are doing online arbitrage, as I said, it's counterproductive to not have, like, it's going, like, online arbitrage can allow you to have that freedom, right, to be wherever you want to work. So why not work with a prep center? You know, it's super worth it in my opinion. You actually save money. It's online, and you can do it from anywhere. You do not even have to be like in the US. If you want to move to Indonesia, you can save money and stuff. Like, and the only other business model where you would be able to do this is private labeling. So in my opinion, if you do online arbitrage, you should strive to actually build a process to be able to actually work with a prep center. This is what makes the most sense, and I believe prep centers are super worth it and are a must if you actually do online arbitrage. So do I have any recommendation for prep centers? I do not have a recommendation. I'm still, it's still the early days of me working with my prep center. There's some stuff that I don't like about my prep center. I'm not gonna lie. So I may switch. And as I said in the previous video, I'm not gonna advertise my prep center, because if I do, and if a lot of you guys actually jump on the same prep center, I'm gonna try to look for a small prep center that not a lot of people like know about, right? So because the one that I'm working with right now is pretty known. So yeah, that's the thing. Prep centers are super worth it. You should strive to work with one. This should be your goal, to actually start working with a prep center. And do not wait too long, because I believe I waited way too long to do it. Way too long. I should have started before, and because I hope that I will be like fully working with a prep center by now. But I'm not. So yeah, you learn from your mistake. Do not make the same mistake as me. And try to work with prep center as soon as possible. It is super worth it if you are doing online arbitrage. So that's today's video. Check out these other videos if you want to learn more about selling on Amazon. If there's, you know the drill. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. I'll see you tomorrow. New video every single day at 3 p.m.